and giving it cat food. What kind of clock thing is that? They give it like cat food from a tin. What is?
Welcome back to another Chatterbox. I'm Sean, and today we have our Coming to America review for you, which is a sequel to the original classic first film from the late 80s. Now, before we start, we can't forget the introductions, of course. So first up, we've got the ladies' love.
Yeah.
Second, we've got the OG Des.
Hey, what's up, peeps?
Cool. And lastly, we've got a special guest on. We've got DJ Toolis with all of the new opinions today. It's Dan.
Yeah.
What's happening? Good to have you on, man. Glad to get you on finally. Been waiting for this day. So, let's get right into it. So the second film sees the return of the African monarch Akeem, who learns he has a long-lost son, an heir to the throne of Zamunda, living in Queens, so he must return to America to meet and build a relationship with his son. So before we explore the sequel, I really want to know, was it worth the wait, or should they have stopped at the first film? What do you guys think?
Well, I think, did it need a sequel? No. But I enjoyed what I saw. I was talking to you after I just watched it. But there was only a few moments where I laughed out loud. But I still enjoyed it.
Cool. What are you saying, Des?
You know when there's something you don't know that you want, and when you get it, you think, you know what? I did want that. Yeah, that's how I felt. I didn't really want it because it wasn't there, but when it was available and I saw it, I thought, yeah, I wanted that. Kind of strange, isn't it? It's like I wasn't really anticipating, another Coming to America, but because it was there, it was like, yeah, okay, I wanted that.
What are you saying then, Dan?
For me, it was a waste of time.
Oh,
Absolute waste of time. I even wrote down it was an hour and 50 minutes of my life I won't get back. It was a no from me.
Okay.
Oh, this is a beef talk now, man. Let me get closer to the screen now. You know what I mean? Yeah, no wonder you're far away from the screen, isn't it? You need to step up. Come on.
The second film did a good job at keeping a link between the first film throughout, such as the premise of his son Lavelle following his own path and going against tradition. But how well do you think they did at making this film its own without losing too much from the original?
I think there was a good balance between the two. I liked the old school and the new school coming together. I think I like the parallels between Akeem and his son, and even the eldest daughter, and how they are treated and what's expected of them from their family. So I enjoyed that part of the story.
And what are you saying then, Dan?
For me, I agree with Andre in his comments, but for me, it was just a copy and paste. If this was kind of an essay, the mark would come back that you failed because you plagiarized. Like, you can see, obviously, a lot of money was spent from, the set to getting all these guests and people come in, but it was just, there was nothing to it for me. It was nothing. I wouldn't say there was nothing new, because there was clearly stuff that was new, like Andre's pointed out, but it wasn't. This film's so great. This film's like the hype that come with the trailer to what it actually was. It's like when you go to McDonald's, you see the Big Mac, and you go, "Oh, that looks nice," and then when you get it, it's like it's missing bits, and sloppy here, and part of it's sticking out. Like, yeah, nah. this ain't for me, I'm afraid.
Did you mean McDonald's or McDougal's?
Well,
The storyline, there was no part in number one where he went and met anybody else. And you saw blatantly what was happening there. I mean, I saw the way they used young Eddie Murphy superimposed. Well, they had the green screen probably with the other characters to make it look as though this is what happened, this is how they met, and this is the story we're going to take forward. You know, for me, that didn't wash. I think they could have come up with a better concept anyway.
When watching the second film, I instantly noticed how they were able to bring back the sets and capture those beautiful scenes of the Kingdom of Zamunda, which personally gave me a feeling of nostalgia. Did you like the sets in this film, or was there something different that the director could have done to improve the second film?
Did I like the sex again? Or is that my hearing gone again? Oh, man. I think is that word just throws me all the time. I did not like the sex because I like the house. The house, I think, was Rick Ross's house, isn't it? Did they use Rick Ross's house?
Yeah.
And he don't have a house in Zamunda. Come on. He don't have a jungle in the back garden. Come on, man. That just looked too... It didn't appeal to me. I like the house. I like the layout to the house. Beautiful house. No, there was like green screen, man. There was too much green screen there, and it was so fake. It was so fake. I did not enjoy it.
Boy, Des doesn't seem happy. What are you saying, Dan?
I agree. Wasn't impressed. Again, it was a copy and paste situation. Some of it, obviously, I didn't know that it was Rick Ross's house, but some of it, for me, you can see the similarities of the start of the first film when the Queen comes out and the dancers come out and all that sort of stuff in the hall. But everything else was just, it was just excess. It was just too much. It wasn't fitting of the film in terms of its originality and how the sort of land and everything was before was, you know, fair enough, things grow and all the other stuff, but it had grown too much. Like they put some sauce into that burger and it's just exploded. Like, come on, let's save some of the budget. Yeah, let's save some of the budget. Come on. So, but yeah, for me, I have to agree with Des on that one. It wasn't a good look.
Yeah,
What were you going to say there, Andre?
Yeah, in terms of the Rick Ross land, that was actually land. That was his land.
That was land.
Acres. Yeah, that was his acres. Oh, no, obviously, I'm still gonna. Your point is still valid in terms of the animals and all that crap was still awful. But in terms of the land, that was all his land. He has acres and acres of stuff.
So he had a lion up in there.
No,
there was no lion. Come on, man. Even Tyson had a tiger. What's going on? Tyson had in his crib. In his crib, you know what I mean? My man's got acres of land. And he can't have no real animals.
They have to look after the actors, okay? As an actor, I don't want to play against some real lion, okay? I don't want
Animals have rights too. Animals have rights too.
You see what you and started, Andre? You see what you and started?
Yeah, but my man Whiskers got cut though, innit? You know what I mean? With a nice pair of silver scissors or something.
But then he comes out with a whole handle.
And giving it cat food. What kind of blood clot thing is that? They give it like cat food from a tin. What is
that's not enough.
Yeah, and the lion go run and say, yeah, meow, and start taking. Come on, man. Put a little bit of realism into that film.
That's hilarious.
He cuts a few whiskers and he comes out of a whole brush. Like, yeah.
I've got to admit, I definitely agree with you lot on that one. That bit was a bit definitely far-fetched. So we saw the return of some of the main actors from the first film, but what did you make of Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall's performances in this one?
In the first one, Arsenio Hall, funny as hell. All right, Eddie Murphy, he's always funny. He's my guy. Arsenio Hall, he was funny in the first one, man. And then before this film came out, he done like a little stand-up thing on Netflix. And I thought, rah, my man is on Netflix. Let me have a look at this. I turned it off halfway through. He was not funny at all, from my opinion. In my opinion, he was not funny at all. And in this film here, exactly the same. He was not funny. Eddie Murphy, I don't even think he was that funny either. He was fun to watch. They were funny. They were fun to watch together, but they were not funny. I wasn't laughing that much.
Dan, so what are you saying? What did you think about it?
The best part about their performances was the barbershop scenes. I think when they done their scenes there, that was their strongest point. Other than that, Mr. Murphy, Mr. Hall, it's time for you to retire. Let your offspring continue your journey. I think one of Eddie Murphy's daughters was playing one of the princesses. It's time to let it go now. Your time's done. It's finished, unfortunately.
Okay, interesting.
I disagree with that in terms of
That's strong.
in terms of them retiring. They don't need to retire. They had a script. It may not play to their strengths. So that's that. That doesn't mean they should retire because they did a bad movie, or in your opinion, a bad movie, or a middling movie. But still continue doing what you're doing. You're still talented and stuff like that. But in terms of their performance in this, they were the worst part of this movie for me. Like Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall didn't really do much when they were just playing Semi and Akeem. But when they were other characters, they were funny and they were entertaining. But it was weird. But they really didn't do much for me other than that. So yeah. And Wesley Snipes, by the way, was great for me. He was the highlight of the movie for me. I loved him. He's very charismatic in the movie. Like he steals all the scenes that he's in. He's having a great time doing it. He's loving life, man, and you can tell it's good. Great performance.
Yeah, it was definitely great to see Wesley Snipes back on the big screen again. Well, not big screen. Maybe my screen at home's big, but
Oh, come on.
55
didn't
inch,
get
man.
to see it on the big screen. You know what I mean? But speaking of performances, R&B hip hop royalty such as Salt and Pepper and En Vogue made a small cameo. What did you guys think of the music in this film?
Music hit the spot for me. Again, reminiscing. It reminded me back in the early 90s. You know what I mean? En Vogue, Salt and Pepper. It was like, yeah. And like I said before, I loved how he brought back the characters. And yeah, this was a nice introduction of old school hip hop, man. You can't beat that. So I have to give respect for whoever decided to bring them back anyway.
I have to agree with Des on the music. As a DJ, I appreciated the music. I would have liked to have seen maybe, especially with some of the artists that they had in the movie, a little bit of the newer stuff, bringing it as they're doing that transition. But no, I agree that the music side of things was definitely on point. I didn't get the John Legend bit at the end. I didn't understand why they were adding that bit on.
Yeah,
I thought that was a bit weird. But yeah, overall music soundtrack was good.
Yeah, definitely. And I love that song that they brought back as well from the original one, "To Be Loved." I thought that was it was good to hear.
How does it go? How does it go?
To be loved, to be loved.
Whoa, what a feeling to be loved.
Boom, boom, boom. Yes, my man is on it. Hey, yo. Yeah. Barbershop
Could have been
boys.
Coming to America 3.
I'd love to. Even though you don't be cutting a film, I'll be up in that film, man. I'll be enjoying every second of it. Finally, I just want to get the final thing that everyone wants to know from you guys, which is the most important question. What rating would you give this sequel?
I'll give it 3 stars, to be honest. Like I said, it didn't make me laugh out loud, but I still had a smile on my face, probably because of the nostalgia that took me through it. So yeah, 3 stars.
I have to agree with Andre. 3 stars for me. And that's because they brought back all the characters. You know, they had some banging music there. And yeah, it wasn't something that I wanted to see, but as it was there, I watched it and I liked it. So 3 stars on a like.
Okay, or what are you saying, Dan?
So more than likely, my wife, when this airs, is not going to be watching this far. I'm going to give it 1.5. One
Oh.
represents how beautiful the women were in this film. The half is for other positive bits that I've said about it, which is obviously not a lot. But 1.5 from me, and that's mainly because the females were beautiful.
Wow.
All right, all
Wow.
right. Well, that's been our review of Coming to America. As you can see, the guys don't seem like they were that impressed, to be honest. Andre maybe a little bit more so. But overall, I think this one gets 3 stars. Now, you've been watching Chatterbox. Please do not forget to hit the like button, share, and make sure to subscribe. Peace and love, people.